Life has a way of coming at us, and it doesn't always feel so, well, joyful. There's a lot of things that happen, whether it happens to us or happens to someone else whom we love, that kind of, in a say, sort of steals our joy away. What steals our joy is a good question to ask ourselves. But here's what's important. Just let's say focus on attaining joy. Then the question is, how do we attain joy? How do we reach that? How do we curate joy in our life? Well, what we'll go on to hear from John's gospel is it's about being open to God's grace. That we have to be open to God's grace first, and then we have to leave space for it. Right? We have to leave space for God's grace in our life so that we can then receive the joy. Now, the real answer today is from Paul's letter to the Corinthians. It's just before it talks about all the different gifts that people give. It says, well, you got this gift, you got that gift, you got this gift, you got that gift. All those gifts are great. And the greatest of all these gifts is love. Paul is saying, look, you can have all the gifts in the world, and if you don't use them lovingly, then it will not produce any joy. It will not give you what you're not using it for its intended purposes. So he's talking about all that. In the end, what we're called to do is love one another, and that's where joy comes. Now, years ago there was a phrase I always loved. My father and my mother used to use it all the time. A sorrow shared is half the sorrow. A joy shared is twice the joy. Once we share a happiness, it actually gets magnified. If we share a loss or a sorrow, it gets diminished. So they've actually connected that's physiologically in the brain. It actually decreases the suffering or increases the actual happiness. Now, why do I bring that up? It's because we're called to do it in community. We're called to build this joy. We can't successfully do it without community, because here's how it works, is that if I am joyful if I do something that's good for myself, but if you, whom I love, have something that makes you joyful, I actually get a bigger rise out of that, more joy out of seeing you joyful than I would for myself. And I think we all know that instinctively. When our children succeed in doing something, we're delighted more than as if it was for ourselves. See, this is how joy works. People were delighted to serve one another. They get joy from sharing with one another. And that's what we're trying to celebrate. And we're trying to recognize, and that's what I'm trying to communicate to you, is that if you really want to be joyful, then you got to serve somebody else. It's about giving yourself away.